Jungle Disk helps small and medium-sized businesses protect their critical data, and does that in an easy and transparent way that's easy for a small business owner to understand and consume.
Jungle Disk is the #1 data security suite designed specifically for 2 to 250 employee businesses, providing encrypted online storage, encrypted data backup, and a complete network security solution blocking ransomware, malware, viruses, and even providing VPNs so that you can stay safe while you're on the go.
We have the right technology, the right tools, the right services, and the right people in-house to provide great service, live support, and just everything that the small business expects to be successful and to do what they need to do to back up their data and provide a safe environment for their customers.
We're not just a typical technology company. When it comes to sales or support or dev, every single person here that works at Jungle Disk wants to make sure that our customers get precisely what they need to ensure everything's safe and everything's affordable for them.
We care deeply about customer support. When you call Jungle Disk, a support person picks up the phone and will have, about the conversation and then walk you through, the solution and mitigation of what you're looking for. Our customer support people don't follow scripts. We empower them to solve the end customer's problem because every use case is different and every problem is different.
Small business ownership is hard, and there's so many things to worry about that. Let us be the experts and let us take that off your plate so that you can worry about the other parts of your business. Don't worry about the security of your business. Let somebody else do that, and we are here to do that for you.
Ransomware and malware is at an all-time high right now, and a lot of times small businesses don't have either the tools or the talent in-house to provide a safe environment for their customers and their employees. So I think it's critical right now just to make sure that even small companies like that have an ability to back up their data, secure their network, and provide a safe working environment. I do think it's important for smaller companies to understand the risks that are out there, and they could always lean on a company like Jungle Disk just for education so we can let them know what they need to do to stay safe.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for a morning cup of Jungle Disk. My name is John Garza, and I'm the Director of Global Sales at Jungle Disk. And I'd also like to introduce Brett Pyatt, CEO of Jungle Disk. Today, we're joined by some very... Oh, excuse me. Sorry, Brett. Good morning. Today, we're joined by some very special guests, and we're going to be having a great discussion on small business managed IT, entrepreneurship, and how Jungle Disk and our guests at Modern Managed IT are working together to help people like you see greater returns on your IT investment. So just a little housekeeping before we get started. Hope everyone received their complimentary Starbucks e-card and is enjoying a nice warm cup of coffee like the rest of us. And also, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in the control panel, and we'll have time for those a little bit later on. So last thing is we're going to be giving away a couple of nice prizes at the end, so be sure and stick around to make sure if you walk away with the prize. So now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started today. So today we're joined by Luis Rodriguez, CEO of Modern Managed IT, and Sean Wiedage, CTO of Modern Managed IT. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, we're doing great. Good morning, John. Morning, Brett. Thanks for having us. Yeah. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. Appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for being here. So before we kind of get started, Luis and Sean, could you guys give just a little bit about your background?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Sean, Luis Rodriguez, just excited to be here and leading this great tech company here that started in San Antonio, but with the vision and the focus to really help small businesses. Some of y'all that do know me or may not know me, I come from the Chamber of Commerce world. I worked at the San Antonio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce before being driven and taken to Austin, Texas, the great city of Austin, to lead the Austin Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, where for over the last 12 years, I've been immersed with small businesses and have grown to have a tremendous amount of passion and admiration for what small businesses do and for our economy, more importantly, locally, on what the jobs they create, how they localize our community, and just help build our brand for the cities they represent. And when being involved in our small business ecosystem, you see the struggles that small businesses have, and access to capital and human capital are right up there, but right up there just as well is access to technology, is specifically for small businesses. And that's where modern managed IT comes into play. Just a keen focus. You heard earlier with Jungle Disc, from 2 to 250 employees, that's their niche, that's their focus, really helping that customer base. Modern managed IT the same way. Man, we want those 1 to 2 entrepreneurs that are starting or have been in existence that may have been overlooked in the past by certain managed service providers. Modern managed IT is here to help them with qualitative services for their technology. So if you're a small business, we're going to take care of you of a 1 or 2 person shop up to a 150 person shop. You're going to get the same quality technical support that you would get from a true qualitative managed service provider just like us. And I think we're going to dive in a little bit later of our key differentiators, and I can't wait to share that with y'all. But more importantly than anything, thank you, Jungle Disc, for having us. Thanks for my Starbucks cup of coffee. It was great. Tis the season. We got the Christmas colors coming out. So we're really excited to be here, be a big partner of Jungle Disc. And Sean, maybe you want to say a little bit more too.
Yeah, no, appreciate the invitation, John and Jungle Disc. I'm Sean Weedage. I'm a San Antonio native. I've been here almost my entire life. I cut my technology teeth out at USAA, and then spent the last 17 years at Rackspace. Upon leaving Rackspace, I worked with my wife's small medical practice, and that helped me feel some of the pain points that were being experienced by local small businesses, particularly in regulated areas where they wanted access to technology. They needed help doing so. And so when the opportunity to work with this team came along, I couldn't help but jump on it. So very happy to be here, John. Appreciate the invitation. Looking forward to a great discussion.
Thank you, Sean and Luis. We appreciate that. And Brett, I guess I'll start with you, and you'll have a chance here to talk a little bit about yourself as well. But could we kind of go back a little bit? And Brett, I guess I should start by asking, so who is Jungle Disc, and how did it come to be the local business that it is today?
Yeah, so this is a fun one. We always get asked, like, why the heck do you call it Jungle Disc? Because I think these days even folks don't really have a hard disk drive. You have a solid state drive in your computer, an SSD, and I don't think even most folks know what that acronym even means. But Jungle, Amazon, the Amazon's a big jungle, and disk was, we used to call them hard disk drives. They used to actually be a disk that spun. And Jungle Disc was a way to connect businesses to the cloud securely, allow for file sharing, remote access, backup of your critical records. We've been around for more than a decade. We've been in downtown San Antonio in the tech district there for the last 5 years after we spun it out of Rackspace and took it back to be its own standalone private company 5 years ago.
And so how did that, as we sit here with our guests from Modern Managed IT, how did that evolution lead to the creation of Modern Managed IT?
So as we're going, I have a big belief in you've got customers asking you for help on something, if you can reasonably figure out a way to provide it, then you go do it for them. So as we've been in the tech community here in San Antonio over the last 5 years, providing cybersecurity software, would run into businesses asking for assistance in other areas out beyond just the support of the Jungle Disc software. And if it was one of those days where things were going well for us, then I would tell the team, hey, just go over to this business and help them with their computer. Go take care of this, because a lot of these extra tiny small businesses, and I mean, that's where most of the folks work. People don't work for giant companies in general. We've got a lot of these businesses that are less than 10 employees or less than even 5 employees, but they're still kind of what makes up the fabric of a city, what makes it unique. And watching them struggle with technology was something that pained me, and especially when I know we've got folks on staff that could go fix and address the challenges that they had probably pretty easily if they could just get the attention of somebody like our Jungle Disc expert team or the expert team now that's at Modern Managed IT.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So switching to our guests, so Luis, so that being said, so how has the need for business IT assistance developed over the past few years? I know that you're somebody that's in business and you've seen a lot. So how would you say that the need for it has developed?
Sure. I think now more than ever, I mean, you look at what's happened since early February or in late February that led into March, and many companies who may not have realized, especially small businesses, just how important technology is for their business, quickly realized how important technology is for their business with this whole COVID-19, remote from work, home working, and just so it's kind of changed the work dynamics tremendously. And so from a small business standpoint, with modern managed IT and just on what we've rolled out to help small business is we're making it easy for small businesses to choose a managed service provider like modern managed IT. We're streamlining it. Simplicity is key for small businesses. Make it simple for them because they're super busy running their day-to-day operations. If you could help them understand technology as quickly and as effectively and efficiently as possible, they'll buy in. They know that the technology is important for the business. So we've done that with 5 simple ways at Modern Managed IT. We've established a dedicated team mentality, a dedicated team that includes a lead technician, an account executive, 2 level 1, level 2 technicians, and a project IT manager that's completely focused on a customer base, ensuring that that customer has a direct line access, direct communication to the customer. We've removed outsourcing. We don't outsource. All of our technicians, our support is right here in Bexar County, the great state of San Antonio, and the great state of Texas. We're here because that's who we serve, our customers right here in Texas and the surrounding areas. We don't do any contracts. That's a new norm. That's a huge differentiator in the managed service provider. We don't lock in any customers to any contracts. We do month-to-month subscriptions. And we do so in a simple way where you could actually go to modernmanagedit.com right now and look at our pricing. We simplified everything. We don't ask for what is your budget type of quotes. We show you up front, this is what the services we offer. These are the costs. Simple. We have a Pro and a Pro Plus plan starting from $49 to help a small business. Super budget friendly to help a small business. And lastly, this is a huge disruptor in the game. We have the love your IT or it's free guarantee. We're so confident in the team. We have some of the brightest and smartest folks you'll ever find when it comes to taking care of small businesses right here, working for Modern Managed IT, led by a genius with Sean Weedage as our Chief Technology Officer. And, we evolved from Jungle Disc with Brett Pyatt. John, you were a part of that. I mean, the fabric of IT and small business is right here in Modern Managed IT, and what we're going to roll out, what we've rolled out to help our small business. So love your IT or it's free guarantee with a dedicated team, because we believe in our team and our processes and systems so much that we know we're going to take care of our customers. So we've kind of filled a huge gap for the small business industry when it comes to managed service providers. We're excited about it. And so now more than ever, small businesses need help with their technology needs. Now more than ever. And we're ready. We're more than ready. And we look forward to rolling up our sleeves and taking care of them.
Yeah, and I love that. I think simplicity is key in this, right? I think the small business community has been craving simplicity from their managed IT provider for quite some time now, and it's great to hear that that's at the forefront of what you're doing. So are you finding San Antonio and the tech community here a good place for MMIT to flourish?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look who we got. We got the Sean Weedages of the world, the Russell Mitchells, the George Rodriguez's, Alejandro Chavez's, Christopher Liao's, the Brett Pyatts, the John Garza's. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great ecosystem. And it's perfect. Small business is critical. In San Antonio, we have our huge corporations. We're so thankful for who we have here in our backyard, but small businesses drive our economy. There are over 60 million small businesses in the United States of America that drive the American economy, and many of those are right here in San Antonio and Central Texas, up to Austin. Austin will be there soon enough too. What we're doing in San Antonio, we're going to replicate in Austin and be there for our small business community in Austin, Texas as well. So yeah, with San Antonio, it's ideal. I welcome all startups to come to San Antonio. We're here at the ecosystem, what is called the Ram Building Geekdom here in downtown San Antonio. A new park just opened up across the street by the Frost Tower. So it's a great atmosphere to build a company. And, the talent is here, the leadership's here, the community's here for everything that you need for a successful startup here.
I couldn't agree more. And Sean, let's ask you for a second here. You having such a tenured journey here in San Antonio and in IT, what about small business does MMIT look to help, really?
Yeah, so John, it's really all aspects of small business. You know, as Luis has mentioned, these small businesses, they're focused on growing their business. They're focused on how do I get customers in the door? How do I serve customers? They don't have time to step back and look around and go, you know, how could I better leverage technology to streamline these workflows? You know, I was talking to a company last week. They want to try and go all paperless. They have no idea how to do that. They've got an old server sitting in their closet in the back. They're doing some file storage there. They haven't done anything on cloud. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring that technology viewpoint and simplify that and take that to the customer. We don't want to understand necessarily, it's important for us to understand what you've got. We want to understand where you want to go, right? Where are your pain points? Are your pain points, you know, I'm spending too much on monthly services to deliver IT? Are your pain points, whenever I call IT, I end up having a surprise bill that I hadn't accounted for in my budget? Or your pain points, man, I just can't get responsive service. You know, I love Google. I love Microsoft. You know, I love their products. If you are a small business and trying to call them to get support, it's a very difficult path to be able to get that attention. So what Modern Managed IT is doing is we're making that type of support available to small business users. You know, anybody from, as Luis was saying, two people to 250 people. You know, you call us first, we will take care of things. You have some ideas, call us, we will give you feedback. You have a project you need executed, you need to refresh Wi-Fi across your business office. You need to look to see how to modernize your delivery of your workflows. You need to, you want to figure out whether you should keep the server or move to the cloud. Those are the things that we aim to simplify for customers. And to the question about, look, is this a great time to do this? Is the tech, how we're finding the tech community? In Rackspace, the last 17 years, I've had a national and global purview, right? And I'm seeing, I've been hiring in New York, been hiring in San Francisco, been hiring in Boston, and I've hired some great people. And I was really surprised coming back and focusing on the local market, the amount of talent that's out there. We're seeing some great stuff come out of UTSA in the cybersecurity. We're seeing some great stuff coming out of Cloud Academy. We're seeing developers being quickly developed and put in the workplace by folks like CodeUp. So, for me, as I look to hire and build out the teams to be able to scale this business to help IT, small business IT, I'm really excited about doing this here in San Antonio.
Yeah, and we're extremely excited as well at Jungle Disk to be partnering with Modern Managed IT. I can tell you that. So let's talk a little bit about that. So how has partnering with us helped you guys to offer solutions for your customers?
Yeah, well, the good news is we knew people over at Jungle Disk, right? So, they tend to pay attention to our needs and our inquiries. So, it's a great product. There's various levels of capability. What Jungle Disk allows us to do is to go into a customer and have a solid foundation for things like backup, for cybersecurity, for end user training, things people don't think about, right? One of the most easily accessible or easily compromised elements of your internal organization is going to be that person that's reaching out and talking to customers, right? And so the security awareness training that's offered through Jungle Disk allows us to be able to inform people on a routine basis of what steps they should be doing when they get, or how to identify odd-looking or potentially dangerous emails or phone calls. Right, the backup capabilities allow us to move data off of customers' machines in the event that a catastrophic failure should happen, or in worst case, there's a ransomware attack, as was mentioned in the video. We can get that data back for customers and do that in a very quick fashion. And then the things that companies, small businesses don't think about, like password management, right? I go to a lot of customers. I go and I'll find sticky notes sitting on the edge of the monitor with passwords. And one thing, the sticky note's not secure because anybody that walks up to that desk can see it. And the second thing is the password is often very simple, right? So the tooling that Jungle Disk provides us helps protect our customers on that security, on that data retention, on the password management, on the threat management, and allows us to focus on really how we transform the greater business, how we transform those workflows, and how we make the general IT operations day-to-day better and more cost-effective.
Yeah, I mean, the third one with that sticky note in COVID, when everyone got told they had to work from home immediately, the sticky note does not go back and forth between the bottom of your keyboard at the office and your house very easily.
No, it's not the most portable of things. And it's also not the most portable between, say, your mobile device, your cell phone, and your laptop and your desktop, right? That's a great point. It can only exist one place. With some of the tools we're getting from Jungle Disk, you can have access to those passwords, regardless of what device you're using.
So, Luis, what sort of entrepreneurship advice would you give to somebody looking to start a business in the tech space?
Well, and I think we have lost Luis for a minute. So I'll grab and take this one.
Okay.
So I think getting started these days is step one. You've got to know that there's a pain point out there that people really want to solve and have are willing to give you money for it, because you've got to be able to get customers online. So as you start to see that pain that people are willing to pay you to solve, that's step one. And then step two from starting a business is go be part of a community. Entrepreneurship is very lonely. Most folks, as you're going out from working on a team at a bigger company solving problems, you have peers and coworkers that are on other projects that you can talk to things about. And if you go out on your own as an entrepreneur, those peers and coworkers aren't coworkers anymore. They're at another company now. And the kind of conversations you can have with them are different. So find a community. Geekdom is a great place if you're in San Antonio. Most cities around the country have some type of startup tech entrepreneurship hub like we do with Geekdom in San Antonio. So go find that community, join it, be part of it. And the third thing on this is every business has challenges. Every business is learning and evolving. So don't be afraid to share your problems with those people in the community as you're talking to them. Let them know, hey, here's something that we don't feel like we're doing as good as we could. Do you have ideas, suggestions, advice? Because none of us have all of the answers, but together, if you build a community and you're part of that community, you will be able to find all the answers that you need.
Thank you, Brett. So let's take a question or two from the audience at this point. So there's one here that says, I feel like technology is very nebulous for business owners. Usually it seems like they don't realize they know there is something out there to help solve their problem, or that they even have a problem until things are in a much worse position than they should be. So how would I know when I need your services, either Jungle Disk or MMIT?
So, I think if in this COVID world, everyone experienced this year that they thought they had all their tech solutions in place that they needed. They thought they had stuff figured out, and they might have for the way that their business was running. And this is kind of the difference between the reactive approach, which is what I'm hearing out of that question. Like, until something's on fire, they're not thinking about IT strategically. They're thinking about IT like calling a plumber or an electrician. If something's broken, they call that person, they come fix it. And I think that the real shift is everyone in this year during COVID is realizing you need a partner like Modern Managed IT, who is going to be there with you as your strategic IT employee, and done in a way that every business of every size can afford that strategic IT employee now. I don't know, Sean, if you have some examples from some recent customers that you guys have worked with on how that proactive versus reactive difference is impacting their businesses. And you're on mute, Sean. It's the story of 2020.
It is the story of 2020. So COVID mute. But, I'll back up a little bit. I love the analogy you made about the plumbers, right? When your toilet stops up, then you call. And at that point, the proactivity has passed. I was actually out at an event recently with a bunch of contractors, and we asked the question, do you struggle with technology in your business? And universally, the answer was yes. And then the question was, well, do you have a managed service provider? And some said yes, so there was a split. But all those companies, if your company is having to make technology decisions, if your company is having to figure out, which platform do I go? Do I go with Google Workspace? Do I go with Office 365? Do I look at, moving my server out? Those are conversations we can help you be in front of and be proactive with. We've gone on site. I've been on site with a number of customers recently, and that proactive nature has helped us prevent machine failures, has helped us prevent data loss, has helped us to reduce costs in areas that they would not have expected, right? You're paying for these 3 different services. We can roll all those into one. How do we do that? And how do we plan that migration for you? That's another element that is really underestimated when we think about small businesses, is the impact of switching, right? I love being on this platform. I'd like to be on this platform. I don't have the energy, the bandwidth. I'm afraid to make those changes. Those are the types of things where we can come in and guide you down the proper path. So I'd say, if you're running a small business, you're struggling with IT, reach out to us. We can help have a call with you, help provide you some friendly advice is free, but we'd love to show you what we can do to really help you be more successful long term.
Thanks, Sean. So there's a couple of follow-up questions from the audience that I think kind of play into that same wheelhouse. But Luis, I'll give you an opportunity to give your opinion on these. So there's one that asks, so would you say MMIT is almost like a fractional CTO? And another one that's along the same lines is, what is the difference between you and a traditional IT staffing agency?
Now Luis is on mute.
Okay, Luis might have lost his mic. So, John, I'll take this question for you. So,
go for it, John.
The difference between us and a traditional IT staffing agency. An IT staffing agency, when I think about, I've been talking to a lot of candidates, and they're working for these staffing agencies, and I look and I see, and they're just rolling through company, right? And they're time and materials based. There's some hefty fees. If you need additional expertise, you have to enter another contract. You're locked into agreements. We try to avoid all of that, and we do it at all costs. With us, you pay a simple monthly rate. We come in and we take care of all of your IT needs. I mean, it's that simple. We'll help advise. We'll be proactive. And because of our model, we're not incented to make certain decisions that might not be in the customer's best interest. I'll give you an example. Customer moving to us, they're a nonprofit. They are currently on Office 365. They want to move to an Office 365 that's free for nonprofits. They've been trying, but the current MSP has been an impediment. And the reason is that MSP is realizing revenue off of that. In our model, we want to do what's right for you. Well, you want to move to a free service to be able to get you the support you need. Great, you have engaged us to manage your systems. We will do that. We will help you make that transition. And so, we are not out there to nickel and dime and hourly charge our customers. So I think that's probably the biggest differentiator. I'd say the other piece is, because of our team model, we have a very deep understanding and knowledge of the customer environment and relationship, and that allows us to be able to resolve things more quickly and be more available, be more receptive to working with the customers. As far as whether like a fractional CTO, that's a great way to think about it. I'm the CTO of our company, but in a lot of cases, I'm also CTO of our customers' companies. And, we will engage with you as much as you will allow us to engage with you. We want to have a proactive relationship. We want to know what projects you're looking at 6 to 12 months out so that we can get ahead of those, steer you down the right path, and make sure we're making the right decisions for your company.
I think I'm back on. Can you hear me?
You are. Yes. I think you're back.
You cannot.
Just in time to give some prizes out, Luis.
For that long, but just to add on what Sean shared, because I really appreciate Gerald and Ryan's questions. Another key differentiator too, when we talk about simplifying this for the customer, just really get this embedded, right? If we could, the modern managed way, and the way we do that too is we're removing ticketing systems from customers. Customers like me, I used to have managed service providers in my prior profession where I had to fill in a ticketing system, put in a queue, get an automatic chat box reply that says someone will get back with me within 45 minutes to an hour, only to then tell me to come back 2 hours later to meet with my technician that might be outsourced somewhere out of the state of Texas, definitely out of the city I was residing in or doing business in. So we've modernized it, right? You have direct access to your dedicated team. There's no ticketing system with Modern Managed IT. It's like if you're a technician, when you bring on Modern Managed IT, it's like if they were part of your team already. To reiterate what Sean mentioned, we get to know our customers' business, the softwares they use, the platforms, everything they use, so we could recognize, advise for something better, if there's something better and more budget-friendly for the customer, but more importantly, help them run a smooth and efficient day-to-day business operations. So there's no queuing, there's no 1-800 numbers. You have direct phone numbers with us as well to your dedicated team. We've truly simplified this for the small business owner. We want to make it simple and effective to take care of our small business customers. It's the modern managed way.
Yeah, I mean, I love that, Luis. It's as I think about it as small business owner and operator, if they were to hire their own internal IT employee, they would not interact with that IT employee through a ticketing system. You wouldn't, as a 10-employee company, set up a ticketing system. You would use whatever, if the company chats with each other on WhatsApp or Slack, or if they send emails or phone calls or text messages, whatever way that company communicates with their employees, y'all at Modern Managed IT communicate the same way with your customer. And I think that that's pretty magical, because it fits you into the business better. It makes it easier for you and easier for the customer, because in the IT world, kind of like the plumber, Sean, back to your analogy, you hear about it after the toilet is clogged up and broken. If you could have come out and done some proactive maintenance ahead of time, if that communication flow was more open, it actually makes it easier to support the customer and take care of things before it's really broken. After it's broken, it's a 5-alarm fire. No business can afford to have their technology offline these days.
Yeah, that's a great point, Brett. And I guess what I'd also like to find out too from Luis and Sean is, speaking specifically about the pandemic that's been going on for several months now, what's it like servicing customers during this time, and how has your business pivoted to be able to do that in an effective way?
Yeah, that's a great point, John. We picked a phenomenal time to spin out in the middle of the pandemic, right? Why would you create a startup in the middle of a pandemic? And I think it's actually been a great opportunity for us. Our customers are struggling more with, how do I enable the remote workforce? We're not coming to the office, or we're coming to the office infrequently, and so our service is that much more valuable. This morning at 7:15, I was on a call fixing something for a customer, because that was convenient to them, because they had to hop on Zoom meetings for the rest of the day, and they just needed it done then. Last night, I was working with a customer, and there were actually 2 of us online between 7 and 8, doing some work to make sure that the customer could actually print at home, right? You wouldn't normally think of an IT organization as supporting a customer's home printing system, but we need to do that, because that's what they need in order to get their jobs done these days. And so, the pandemic has created an opportunity for IT organizations to look at their IT and figure out, really, how do I leverage it more effectively to have that in-office type of feeling that they've grown accustomed to. And so, for us, it's changed. I love the local community. One of the things I was really excited about coming to this organization was, I didn't have to hop on an airplane every day and go to New York to meet people. I get to meet people that are my neighbors. I get to meet people that are stakeholders in the local community and in the nonprofit space. And so for me, it's been a challenge, because I love that interaction face to face. So it's changed how we deliver our services, but at the same time, it's created a lot of opportunity for organizations to look at new tooling, and they really need help to be able to navigate that.
Yeah, that's a great point. So we have time for sort of one last question, and then we'll do some giveaways and wrap up. But before we go, I think it's important. So what seems to be the most important decision factor, Sean and Luis, for companies when they decide to work with you or not to work with you? What should they be looking out for, and what should they consider?
I'll just be completely transparent, because that's our motto, right? Transparency. And when we onboard our customers, we're going to ask a lot of questions. They're good questions, but you don't be taken back. We just really, really want to know your business. In all honesty, we want to get to know your business, how you're operating, how are things supposed to run on a day-to-day business, so we can ensure they continue to run as they should be. So when you onboard with Modern Managed IT, expect us to want to get to know your business, to ensure the proper business IT infrastructure is implemented and allowing you to do your day-to-day. And then secondly, expect to be taken care of greatly. We try very much so to take a proactive approach versus a break-fix type of mentality. We are there for those situations, but we're going to advise you on what we could do better 6, 9, 12 months down the road to ensure there's a more seamless IT in your business for you and your team members, especially as our small businesses start to grow and scale, because we're going to pivot, and we're going to come out and our small businesses will be stronger than ever. And we're going to be there every step of the way to help them grow and pivot. And technology, they're going to realize that Modern Managed IT is such a reliable technology partner for them that they're not going to really worry too much about what's going on there, because we put a plan in place, because we got to know our customers' business.
Yeah, and John, I think the question that our customers need to ask themselves is, am I comfortable with the return I'm getting on my IT investment now? right? So do I have another managed service provider in there? Are they being proactive? Are they doing all the things that I need them to do? Or, do I think I can leverage technology better? But that often has trade-offs in terms of, lack of knowledge, lack of time to implement, lack of knowledge of the marketplace. So I think those are the two big questions that small business need to ask themselves. Am I getting the most out of my technology investment? And do I think there are ways that I can do it better, that it can be done better? And if your answers to those will say, if you don't think you're getting enough out of your investment, and if you think you can do it better, that's where an opportunity to partner with us comes into play.
And we've got one more question, John. I'm going to sneak in right here before the finish line.
Yeah, of course.
So we had someone asking, do you help restaurants with point of sale systems, or kind of what's your scope of support? So I think this is one where if you think about hiring modern managed IT, you're hiring an IT employee, and that employee is going to be supporting all of your systems. And so if you've got a point of sale system from 3 different vendors, because you have 3 different restaurant locations, they're going to figure out how to support all of those. And this is what 17 years of broad tech expertise does. Sean has seen a little bit of everything through his career, and so is the rest of the team. So they'll come in and help you figure out how to run and operate that system. They'll call the vendor and get support on your behalf, just as that IT employee would if that point of sale system isn't working or you need to implement a new module. They're not getting in and writing code and software for you, but if you think about running all of your systems, configuring all the systems, taking care of all the modules, there isn't anything where you're going to hear from them, sorry, we aren't going to touch that. We won't call the vendor on your behalf. There is no line. If you hired an IT employee, that employee is going to be responsible for taking care of everything, and so is the team at Modern Managed IT.
Yeah, and Ryan, that's a great question. The other thing I'll add to Brett's comment, because we're not afraid of any industry we're doing stuff in regulated industries that are impacted by things like HIPAA, PCI, and other government regulations. The thing I would add to that is, COVID has put a big challenge on a lot of companies, a lot of stress, right? And restaurants and restaurateurs are really focused at feeling the brunt of it. And as they're trying to find ways to be able to serve customers, as they're trying to find ways to make their offerings more compelling, the last thing I want is the owner of that restaurant or the head chef trying to figure out a POS system or trying to figure out how to fix their server because it's not working. I just want them to be able to focus on the core of their business so that they can make their way through this pandemic, and we can all have some phenomenal meals come springtime, hopefully when everything is wrapped up. So yeah, we are more than happy to help engage businesses of all types.
Thank you, Sean, Luis, and Brad. So this is a great discussion, and I think this might warrant a second discussion in the near future because there's probably a lot more to talk about, and it's hard to fit it all in a 45-minute block. But I appreciate it. For the questions that came in that we didn't get a chance to answer, we will put together some responses and send it out to the group. But I think we should get to some giveaways. So we're going to give away 3 $100 gift cards today for the attendees. Thank you for being here. And I am going to turn it over to Luis and Sean to do that.
Yeah, this is the fun part. And, just really quick, Jungle Disc, thank y'all for putting this together. Thanks for inviting Modern Managed IT to be a part of it. We're excited to be here. We're excited about the partnership we launched with Jungle Disc, and more importantly, what we're going to do for our customers. So thank y'all for putting this together. To all those who attended on this Thursday morning, thank y'all for being with us. And to those I've not met, I look forward to meeting you. Those familiar names that I saw down the attendee list, it's so good to see y'all's names. And y'all know the chamber world and the tech world, they're really efficient on their time. 45 minutes means 45 minutes. And Chamber of Commerce world, that means an hour and a half, an hour and 20 minutes typically. But thank y'all again for having us. And yeah, let's give away some goodies. You want to go first, Sean, and then I'll go to the second, and then so we're going to give away 3 $100 gift cards, Amex, American Express, and we encourage the winners, if you'd like, support a local business in your city, in your area. Go patronize them. The restaurant was mentioned, they could really use the support, and there's great food, especially here in San Antonio, from great breakfast tacos, or those that are in Austin, you have great barbecue. as well. No, Austin does not have the best breakfast tacos. I'm not in Austin anymore. I can say that publicly. It's official. No political statements here, right? Being politically correct. San Antonio, hands down, best breakfast tacos. So, Sean, do you want to go first with the first $100 gift card giveaway?
Yeah, I'll go first. And so one important caveat on this, we want to reward those people that have stuck around to the finish here. So, if you were on this call, or if your name is called out, put something in the Q&A so that we know that you're here. If you're don't happen to be online, then you don't win the card. Sorry. So this is for the people that came and had coffee with us. So our first winner, and who I know is online, but I'd ask you to confirm anyway, is Mark Espinoza. Mark from a stealth startup. So Mark, congratulations. Let us know in the chat box that you are still online. And while I wait for Mark, Luis, I'll let you do the second winner.
Yeah, second winner here. There's a wonderful, incredible human being behind the scenes. Her name is Evan. Right, there's always that one brilliant person doing everything and using Excel to drum up our winners. And our second winner for 100 buckaroonies to enjoy good food or what you like, especially with the holiday season, is Iris from Startup San Antonio. Iris, congratulations. Are you here? Can you maybe just put something in the chat box as well? Mark is
we
here.
see Mark. We have got Mark confirmed. Do we have Iris? All right, we will come back to Iris. And so I see, there she is. Congratulations, Iris. Glad to have you. Appreciate you hanging in here and staying to the end. And the last winner here, I'll go ahead and announce, Luis, if that's all right. I see, courtesy of our amazing coordinator in the back, is Ryan Salt. And I know Ryan has been on here. I have seen some of his questions come across. So Ryan, if you're still on here, Ryan, it's from Launch SA. So if you would confirm you're here, we will make sure and get this card out to you. So looks like we are good on Ryan. So with that, John, I guess we'll turn it over to you for our closing.
Awesome.
I'm going to sneak one more comment in, John.
Yeah, of course.
So hopefully we'll get these cards out to you before Amex Small Business Saturday. Amex is not sponsoring these cards. We're paying for them, but I'll give them a plug. So appreciate what Amex does, and this is one of the reasons why we're giving out that American Express gift card. It comes up Small Business Saturday. It'll be November 28th this year, and I know with COVID and all these things, it's harder to get out and support small businesses because many of them don't have the ability for you to order online or purchase from them easily. But would encourage folks to please, take these and get out and do what you can. And the small businesses that have been able to get online and offer some sort of e-commerce or online fulfillment to support them on Small Business Saturday during the holiday shopping this year. For many of these small retailers, they'll do half their revenue normally during this holiday shopping season. And if we're all going to be locked down, it's going to be a real challenge for them versus the big guys that have an amazing e-commerce experience. So I know it'll be a little bit more difficult to support some of the small businesses, but please go out and do so.
Thank you, Brad. So we are right at 43 minutes. We've had some great, insightful discussion today, and I'd like to thank everybody who took part, and thank you to the audience as well, and for those that attended and for posting your questions. They were great. So Luis, we're going to do something. We're going to give you, if you wanted to end it by giving it your 60-second pitch, what would you tell the audience today? And then we'll wrap up.
I would definitely tell the audience that there's a new managed service provider that just wrote out that's extremely passionate about small business, that a small business is not alone, and they have a true champion that believes in them and that wants to help them with their IT needs. There's no business that's too small to have stellar qualitative IT service like Modern Managed IT, what we will provide to our consumers. So I really want to get that message across. You can visit our website, modernmanagedit.com. You can look at the simplicity of the products and services that we offer. More importantly, you can call me direct. Our phone number is right under. I answer the phone. I'm glad to speak with you as well. So I'd like to end with that since I only have 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's
Well
so
said.
easy. You can literally buy on their website. I think they're the only managed IT provider I know, which is kind of odd, that allows you to actually buy the products on their website. So you don't have to request a quote or get anything else. You can go on there, put the managed IT service in your shopping cart, and buy directly from them online, which is it's odd to know, but I think they're the only one doing it that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's the modern managed way.
Well, thank you, Sean and Luis, our guests at Modern Managed IT. Brett and I truly appreciate it, and thank you, everyone in the audience. We appreciate you being here, and please be on the lookout for the next Morning Cup of Jungle Disc in the coming weeks. And check us out at www.jungledisc.com, and also check out Modern Managed IT at www.modernmanagedit.com. And thanks again for joining us today, and remember to stay cyber safe and be well.